this play out kind of as you expected? I mean, I think you guys got it by 19, and they came back in the second half. They cut it to 3 or 4.
They cut it to 4, I think, and you know, we played really well the first half for the most part. We made shots. Our defense wasn't very good, but you know, we did a pretty good job rebounding the ball tonight. We shot a good percentage. You know, the thing that is just so pitiful for a good team, good players, is of their last 24 points they scored, 21 of them was off our turnovers. 21 of their last 24 was off our turnovers. They scored 41 points the second half total, and 25 of them were off our turnovers. Our guards had 0 assists and 6 turnovers the second half. You know, it's hard to look good when you don't get shots. And you know, when we get shots, you know, we end up doing pretty well. But that was about as miserable performance the last 10 minutes of a game that I've ever seen. We're fortunate to win because they're really good, and you know, fortunately we had enough of a cushion where we could overcome, you know, such poor passing and poor play late.
Connor had those 2 offensive rebounds in one possession, played 35 minutes.
Yeah, Connor was good. Well, you know, he had 12 in the first, you know, 8 minutes probably, or whatever it was, and then he only scored 2 more after that. But he scored, you know, he got those 2 offensive rebounds on 1 possession, which led to a 3-point play, if I'm not mistaken, off of 2 pitiful shots. So you know, we went brain dead and shot 2 bad shots, and he ended up stealing 2 possessions for us. So those were big time plays for us, big time plays. Connor did some good things.
Can you talk about Jeff's performance tonight?
Yeah, Jeff was, I thought, the best player in the game. You know, he 13, 13, and 9. You know, if you take away him getting 3 balls there late, where he got possession of it and tried to hand it off to somebody underneath our basket or in press offense, you know, which led to 3 turnovers, which led to points for them. You know, you take that away, he played great. I mean, he was a presence inside. You know, we started Thomas on number 20, Robinson, because of his quickness, and then we ended up having to put Jeff on him because even though he got off to such a good start, Jeff totally neutralized him in the second half, and so he did a really good job blocking and altering. So I thought Jeff was a pretty big factor, without question.
Did Tyshawn not start? Did that have something to do with the knee? Or
yeah, he tweaked his knee yesterday, so I'll be honest with you, I didn't know if he'd play. So we kind of prepared to play without him. So they put him in a brace, and he felt pretty good today, shoot around, and you know, he appeared fine tonight physically, without question. So that's a primary reason why he didn't start.
Talk about the press late in the game. That was kind of a challenge for you guys, and breaking that press. A lot of turnovers came off that. What was the biggest problem you guys had?
No, I think the fact that we pass it, and we don't pass it real well, we don't catch it real well, and we don't see real well. Those are 3 problems that maybe teams will have against pressure. But you know, it'd be nice if Johnson was in the game so we could have another guard in the game. But you know, there's no excuse for that. Absolutely no excuse. They weren't even pressing us. I mean, it wasn't even hot pressure, and we turned it over to them. So.
How come Nadir didn't play?
Just coach's decision. You know.
Bill, Long Beach State plays a tough schedule, non-comfortable every year. You're confident in that bunch of senior laden team. Maybe a lot of things wouldn't have had coming in here.
Well, I you know, Dan won this league last year, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll win their league, or should win their league again this year. And you know, the thing about it is, we said it early in the game when we got up 30. I think we were up 34-15 or 35-16, something like that. We said they're not going to go away. Their players are too good, and you know, Robinson obviously kept them in the game the first half because he threw in some shots, you know, that he usually doesn't shoot it quite that well, and then Ware made a couple of baskets late. But you know, you watch them play against Pittsburgh, they expected to win at Pitt, and if you watch them against Louisville got off to a good start like we did against them. Other than that, they played Louisville even or maybe a little better, and other than our good start, they played us even or a little better. So you know, I would think Carolina would be a big favorite to win the game Saturday, but they can give problems because they're so fast and their wings are long, and they're certainly not scared. I think he's done a great job with them. It would be a fun team to coach because they're so athletic. But you know, he scheduled this, I'm sure, to hopefully not get a couple of feathers in his cap, but to mainly make sure that his team's is prepared to be, you know, going forward in their league, because I can't imagine there being a better team in their league. It's a fun team to watch play, I know, because they're so fast.
And why did you schedule it?
Yeah, I'll blame that one on Larry Keating. So I'll take responsibility for our passing and catching, but Keating deserves all the blame for that. But no, in all honesty, you want to play good teams. And the other thing, Dan's a friend, and you know, I played against him when I was at Illinois, and he gave me my worst beatdown ever as a head coach when he was at Gonzaga and I was at Tulsa, and you know, I always give him crap about that. And we played at Illinois and had great games every year when he was at Minnesota. But he said he had a veteran ball club and he wanted to bring them down to Fieldhouse. So even after the game, he said it was a great experience for his kids.
Did you discuss about talking with the president today?
I did have a talk with the president today. So I had a chance to, I got an email yesterday saying that he would like for me to come to Osawatomie for a speech, and you know, it's pretty cool. I don't suppose he emails everybody, although he didn't do it. And so I emailed back and I said, hey, you know, I'm sorry, I got to respectfully decline. We got a game, so and we have practice. And they said, well, you know, if you could just come to the meet and greet, you know, then you could leave and not listen to the speech, because the speech was a long speech today, is what they said. And I said, well, I'll check my calendar. And so I got up and went over there, and it was you know, cool. It's you know, I've been really fortunate. I had a chance to meet President Clinton after he was out of office here in Allen Fieldhouse when he and Senator Dole spoke, and that was a cool deal. Those guys in our locker room and bantering back and forth. And then the coolest thing one of the coolest things I've ever experienced was when we took our team to the White House. President Bush, after he finished giving us the you know, recognizing us at the Rose Garden, I guess, and he said, hey Bill, I want you, all your players, and all the families to go to the Oval Office now. I want to talk to all you guys. And so he spent 45 minutes with us, talking to us and taking pictures with everybody. You know, so to me and our players, that was just off the charts cool. But the one thing that it did, I think, show me as much as anything is the respect that you should have as an American for that office. And so when I got invited today, you know, that was a no-brainer for me to go. And as long as it didn't interfere with anything going on here, so it didn't. And so I had a chance to go over there and be a part of a real small group that had a chance to meet him and greet him. And he wanted me to go last so we could stay and talk ball. So we stayed and talked ball for a while. And he's a pretty big fan. He keeps up with it pretty good. So I asked one favor. I said, don't ever pick us to win anything again. He said, you cost me money. And I said, not as much as you cost me. Not as much as it cost me. But no, it was a real nice deal. Really cool deal.
Did you talk about his brother-in-law's team at all?
Yeah, we talked about Craig. You know, Craig was on the team at Princeton when I was at Oklahoma State that played in the NCAA tournament. So we always talk about that. But they backdoored us to a 46-43 upset back when he played for Coach Carrill. So, yeah, we talked about that.
Anything else?
Nothing on Ohio State, huh?